Okay.
All right, let's go. 3, 2, 1. Well, welcome back again to another episode here, live at CAMX 2022. And I am very pleased to have Dale, is it Brosius?
Brosius.
Brosius.
Mm-hmm.
He is the president of IACMI. We're going to be talking about their organization, the Composites Institute, and some of the work that they're doing. Very happy to have Dale on. Mark kind of connected us. So, so first of all, your thoughts on the event so far? I know we're just starting.
Yeah, it was its first day. It's it seems to be exceptionally well attended, and it's nice to have the second year back in person.
Right.
Because last year was probably about half of the people that you'd normally get in Dallas, and it looks like we're back in full force this year.
So let's start with, before we get into some of the work that you all are doing at the Composites Institute, maybe share a little bit about your background, because I don't know how long you've been at your position, but it's been recent. Is that right?
Well, I've been with.
You've been part of it for a long time.
I was with the original proposal team of IACMI, and was technically employee number 1 as the chief commercialization officer, which is a title I still carry. And then I've been serving the interim CEO role since April.
Okay.
But my background is I'm a chemical engineer by training.
Sure. With
an MBA, and then I've spent my whole career in industry.
Yeah.
So I've made I've worked for large and small chemical companies.
Okay.
Processing companies, part making companies.
Wow.
Along the way. So. Yeah.
How long, total number of years in the industry?
Oh, boy.
All right, I don't have to ask that.
No. It's in 40. It's over 40
it's
now.
It's a lot, right?
Yeah.
We'll just say it's a lot.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the Composites Institute. A lot of our listeners, people who are part of CAMX, they know about it. But if you would, for those who don't, give a little bit of background from the time that you started it with you and one other person so many years ago.
It wasn't me and one other person. It was a team of people that started it. I just happened to be the first one employed. After the proposal was awarded. We started out, responding to a funding opportunity announcement from the Department of Energy to create a manufacturing USA Institute specialized in composites.
Okay.
And with initial focus on composites for vehicles to reduce weight, composites for wind turbines to reduce cost and increase length on those turbines, and then composites for compressed gas storage, and then along with that was work in recycling, modeling, simulation, and other materials and processes.
Okay.
And so we've evolved over the years. When we started, everybody was still working on gasoline vehicles, and of course today the whole focus is on electric vehicles.
Big
so how do you take
time,
mass out of electric vehicles?
Absolutely.
Wind turbine blades have now, when we started were 50, 60 meters. Now they're 100 meters, and they're going offshore. So, hydrogen was an interesting thing, but now it's a real thing.
Yeah.
So there's just a whole lot of changes that have occurred since 2014, 2015.
Absolutely.
And we've had to evolve along with that.
Yeah. Yeah, the automotive sector is pretty exciting right now.
It is.
So, so let's talk about in terms of your membership right now as we talk. What does the membership stand right now?
We're about 130 entities.
Okay.
But those entities are, it's about 70 of those are small companies.
Sure.
Another 35 are large companies, and then we also have state economic development agencies, trade associations, university partners.
Yeah.
And
University of Tennessee, my alma mater.
Okay. Yes, of course. Yeah. And our core university, core university partners are, University of Tennessee, Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Michigan State University, Purdue University, University of Dayton.
Absolutely, yeah. And also, I know, and I think of it from my standpoint because I live in, obviously, East Tennessee, so I'm familiar with the Oak Ridge National Laboratory and some of the work there. But if you would, can you share some of the, R&D developments, some recent things that you all have been involved with that you could talk about?
Sure. I think, in the automotive space, and it's relevant to Tennessee, of course, is a project with Volkswagen.
Yes.
To develop a lightweight liftgate. And we were able to develop a liftgate that was, 41% lower weight than steel.
Sure.
Without even using carbon in it. We were able to do it all with fiberglass, which makes it also very energy efficient in terms of carbon footprint.
Sure.
Then we were able to also demonstrate that it would be 9% cheaper than a steel liftgate, because we took 10 parts and consolidated those to 3 parts in the molding cycle. So that turns out that Volkswagen is introducing that technology on their new lines of electric vehicles that are coming out.
Wow.
So that's one, and another one is in the wind turbine space. Traditionally been made with epoxies and vinyl ester resins, which are thermosets, not very recyclable.
Right.
We did a lot of development to scale a reactive thermoplastic technology that make them recyclable.
That's wonderful.
For the future, so you don't have to landfill them.
Sure, yeah. Which you were seeing now, a lot of those blades are going to landfills, some of those old blades, and that's good news, to see. So you are, in terms of recycling, any work there on?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a big emphasis. We build materials that are meant to last forever.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. When we put composites in a bridge, it's a 150-year bridge.
Yeah.
They are very durable.
Yep.
Airplanes made of composites are meant to last 50, 75 years. So,
sure.
So, when you make things that last very long, it makes them very hard to break down.
That's right.
So, recycling becomes a little tougher. But there are ways to do it. Separation technologies to remove the fiber from the resin, ways to recombine the fiber and, into useful products, so that we can keep things out of the landfill.
Sure. Some of your R&D, I'm about to knock my mic over. Some of the R&D partnerships that you have, can you talk a little bit about, how you partner with some of these other facilities for research and development? Yeah,
well, we like to, what we are is we're a very industry-facing organization, so we're trying to solve problems for industry. So we're not like a basic university doing low-level research or a national lab. We actually take things that have been proven at lab scale and make them relevant to industrial scale.
Right.
So, you take them from, technology ready levelness of 3 or 4 up to 7 or 8.
Sure.
So that they're ready to go out in the marketplace. So to do that, you have to build a team that includes not only the research partners at the universities and national labs, but include all the folks along the supply chain.
Okay.
So in a case like the VW project, it included, the tooling manufacturer, included the the resin supplier, the glass supplier, the compound supplier, a tier 1 supplier, all involved in that, along with 3 different universities, Michigan State, Purdue, and University of Tennessee, to make that a reality.
Right. So, how big of a challenge was that during COVID and supply chain? Well, we're still seeing some of the ramifications of supply chain problems, but they're improving somewhat. But I can imagine it was very difficult or pretty challenging during that time.
Well, the biggest problem during COVID was access to laboratory space, and not just basic laboratory space, but the kind of labs that we have, where you have large scale equipment. Where you can mold full deck lids or floor pans and things like that. And again, even though those labs are big and spacious and there's lots of opportunity for social distancing, there was just still a lot of constraints about how do you get in there, because obviously, we didn't know much about, this new disease, and so, it was difficult. So we lost some time.
Sure.
And then we found ways to work around that. Wonderful. But also during COVID, we responded as well. Right. I mean, we had the University of Tennessee, Oak Ridge, and some of our other partners were creating products to address COVID. From face masks and new novel textiles.
Absolutely.
And
we had quite a few companies that were guests on our show during that time that were just rising to the challenge, meeting the needs for a lot of that. Yeah. A lot of those materials.
Yeah, we were happy to be able to be part of that. Yeah. I mean, it was obviously whole nation had to be working on that sort of thing. Absolutely.
Well, Dale, I appreciate your time today. I want our listeners, people who want to learn more. First of all, for some reason I didn't get your booth.
We're at booth S47.
S47 here at the show.
Yep.
And the website. I do have the website, IACMI.org.
Of course.
So, and anywhere else that they can find, or is that?
Well, we're out there.
Yeah, you're out there for sure.
And I encourage them to talk to our members. We on our booth we have a sheet where we have a listing of all our members that are here at the show.
Okay.
Go around and talk to those folks and ask them about their IACMI experience.
Very good, Dale. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming
by.
All
right, thanks, Jonathan.
Very good.
Score a touchdown this weekend.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, thank you. That was great. That's what we're wanting to do on just kind of short overviews. That'd be good.